Dude, this cold
Mm.
absolutely fucking killing me.
Mhm.
It started to come on like when we're recording the interview,
Mm.
and it's just gotten worse and worse.
Well, I feel like you got it when I first gave it to you at the Iowa State
Yeah.
game, and you
Mm,
have just never gotten
Well, like
better.
it got better a little bit,
Mhm.
and then it just got back to worse again. And I think
Mhm.
it's just working outside every day.
Sure.
It's just been
Mhm.
absolutely brutal. Yeah.
Have you
Hi
done
everyone.
have you done the saunas? Whenever I had the sickness, I did the sauna. I was only sick for like 3 days.
No, I haven't done the sauna,
Yeah.
so it might be something I have to do. But
Yeah, that's what I did. I brought in the 2 rags.
yeah,
I had one with me, just phone and whatnot, and then the other
yeah,
one I was just blowing my nose in
yeah.
constantly just to like just clear everything out.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, I've done that before in the past, but I
Mm.
want to try the Benadryl and drink it just a fuck ton of water first,
Sure.
and the
Have you
vitamin
had the weird
C.
dreams?
No,
No, not
no.
yet.
When I took the Benadryl last night, it was fucking like when I was sleeping, like my eyes were closed, but I felt like a pressure that was coming in and out though
Mm.
for like it was in beat with my heartbeat too. So it was just like with each beat, it was like out and then in, out then and in,
Yeah.
and then I just went,
Huh.
yeah, yeah. Hi everyone, welcome back to the MattCast podcast. I am Matty Light, joined by my co-host Matty Heavy. Um, I don't know if you guys can hear it through the mics, but it's blowing pretty heavy. The wind is,
Mhm.
and it's freezing cold here.
Today was
And
nicer though. It was like 40 something
yeah,
degrees.
but the wind picked up to like 35 miles an hour.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
it's still been better than what
yeah,
it was, which was like 20 to
yeah.
like 10 degrees.
Tomorrow it's back to a high of 25, and I'm
Mhm.
like sick.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is perfect for me. Yeah, we had a pretty interesting week. We got our first interview done.
Mhm.
It'll be uploaded within a couple weeks from now.
Mhm.
I thought it went really good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was a lot of fun, and like we were both kind of sitting there, like, dude, we could have gone for a couple
We
hours.
even hit even Josh said that. He was
Yeah,
like, dude, I would, you know,
yeah,
he said he wanted to come back and that made me feel
yeah,
really good about it. I
yep.
was like, damn,
And we have a tentative. He might be joining us for the Beer Olympics.
maybe. Yeah,
Yeah,
depending. He's
depending on
got,
yeah,
because he said he has something going on
in the summertime or
in
something
the
like that.
summertime.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, he said he's going to be back.
yeah.
So,
So like we'll be able to get him at least for two more time or one more time for sure,
mm,
potentially a second time.
mm,
And this one is not an interview, it'd be something the boys do.
yeah.
Yeah. Um and then also the other part too is a fucking wild week with college football,
Mm,
rivalry week,
mm.
and then the NFL itself too is just kind of like,
Well, Thanksgiving,
yeah,
it felt, if to me, it feels like a couple weeks away or a couple
yeah,
weeks ago. It's like not even a week
mhm,
since we passed Thanksgiving. Just that's just how much stuff has been going
yeah.
down.
There was just so much shit. It seemed like a whole nother week, and I was kind of sitting there like, did we miss a recording? Like, did we?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
like,
thought the same thing. I was like, man, it feels like forever since
yeah,
I've sat. And then I was like, no, this is last week's
yeah,
stats. Like I just
yeah.
yeah, we haven't gotten to them yet
Just haven't gotten to it yet. So yeah, we'll just hop right on into week what 14?
for college. Yeah.
Yeah, for college of the top 25, and we'll dance over to the Big Ten.
Mm.
We had Memphis against Tulane, which we counted Memphis out. We put Tulane as the one who's going to end up winning it. Um, at least that's how I remembered it.
Well, yeah. I mean, I
Yeah,
think we just saw the number next to the name, and we were just like, well,
gotta trust it.
rivalry weekend. You know, this is their way to try to sneak into
Yeah,
a playoff spot. I don't know if they're still in with that loss. I don't think they are
I
because
don't
I don't think they
know.
are because I know the big three that is like, oh, they lost three
Yeah,
is Ole Miss, Alabama,
and
South Carolina.
yeah.
Yeah, those are like the big three
Um, the next game, Georgia Tech, Georgia,
almost.
went into 8 overtimes.
Yeah,
And like I remember texting you and was like, dog, turn on the Georgia Tech Georgia game.
yeah.
And it was like,
I was following it for a while,
yeah,
and then but for my work that weekend's a pretty busy weekend for me, so I was like,
yeah,
no, I'm going to bed.
yeah. And like I was just like, you know what, fair.
Yeah.
But like I was just sitting there like, and I had my lady, she's sitting over there doing work
Mm.
as I'm watching the game. when we were like watching a TV. No, we were watching a TV show at first, and then I looked at the score of the Georgia Tech game, and I saw it was going into overtime. I'm like, oh fuck, Georgia Tech was up at halftime.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
even at the end of the third quarter, they're still up
yeah,
17-6. And
yeah,
then,
and then just completely different ball game. Georgia Tech scored 10 in the fourth and 21, and Georgia scored 21 in the fourth. Ended up tying out, and then they went for 8 overtimes to get a final score of 44-42.
mm,
And I was just like, this is wild. And I was explaining to her the whole like overtime and college rules and everything
mhm,
like that. I like it. I like that back and forth of like,
who can,
yeah, it's
yeah,
not like the NFL. So like, I think
first score, or if it's a
yeah,
touchdown, they win. And then,
yeah,
yeah, I don't like that. I get it because you have to worry about like prime time television, like things. And like,
yeah,
I'm assuming that it has something to play with it. But yeah, it sucks to see that like
yeah,
you could potentially lose a game just by your defense giving up one
yeah,
good drive, and then you don't even get a chance to rebuttal.
yeah. And yeah, I think the NFL should adopt the
I think they
college way
should
of it.
adopt more stuff from
Yeah.
college.
And then you had Boise State beating Oregon State 34-18. Ole Miss beating Mississippi State 26-14. Colorado beating
Hmm.
Oklahoma State 52-0. Oregon beating Washington 49-21.
Mm.
The big controversial one that everybody's been talking about,
I think
Michigan.
this is the first,
Yeah,
like,
this was the first one.
yeah.
Michigan beat Ohio State 13-10 with I want to say it was like a last minute drive for a field goal, or
I
did they just
mean,
score a field goal in the fourth and just held on?
uh, I know that's how Iowa won, is they got it on the last few seconds field
Yeah,
goal. Yeah.
that might be confusing the two of them. Um, Texas beat Texas A&M 17-7. Penn State beat Maryland 44-7,
Mm-hmm.
beat down, and then Notre Dame beat USC 49-35. This was another one that was had some controversial, excuse me, controversial stuff happen. With the Notre Dame player just absolutely right
Cold
hooking,
cocking them.
yeah,
Yeah.
a USC player while he's down on the ground, and like no ref saw it, and he just got away with a fucking like full on just punch straight to the
Mm.
face mask. Then you had Miami losing to Syracuse, 42-38, which got Clemson into the ACC championship game
Mm-hmm.
by beating Miami. Which like I think we said that this one was a potential chance, but also probably going to lean towards Miami.
I can't remember. I think it was one of those ones that were like every time that we put like give praise to Miami, like we just
Yeah.
kept saying that stuff.
Tennessee beat Vanderbilt 36-23. SMU beat Cal 38-6. Indiana beat Purdue 66-0.
Yeah, poor Purdue
For
fans.
Purdue 1-11. Um, South Carolina beat Clemson 17-14. And then Alabama beat Auburn 28-14. Arizona State beat Arizona 49-7. Iowa State beat K-State 29-21. BYU beat Houston, which got Iowa State into
Hmm.
the Big 12 championship. And then Missouri beat Arkansas 28-21. UNLV beat Nevada 38-14. And Illinois beat Northwestern 38-28.
Do you want to talk about Iowa State at all?
Yeah, the Iowa State game I thought all around was fairly competitive for both teams.
Well, yeah. I
It
mean, it looks like going into the fourth quarter,
yeah.
Iowa State was behind. Did they get a safety on
Yeah.
them?
So Avery Johnson ran 20 plus yards back from like I think it was at the 25 or the 24-yard line or something like
Mm-hmm.
that. And he scrambled all the way to the end zone, and then had intentional grounding in the end zone.
Oh, fucking
Yeah,
Christ.
so that got us the lead. 'Cause it was like tied up, or I believe it was tied up. I'm trying to do some quick maths. Um, 24, 21. Okay, so we were up by 3
Mm.
um at that time, and then that got us up by 5. And we're like, all right, cool. We need to get a good stop here. I believe there was a fumble or something like that. No, the controversial fumble was that Avery Johnson did a shovel pass.
Mm.
But it's from certain camera angles, it looks like it was going forward,
Okay.
and in other ones, it looked like it was just going straight.
Okay.
And the running back missed the option, and that got an Iowa State fumble recovery that took it back for a touchdown.
Uh-huh.
And they're like, the announcers were sitting there like, I don't know, I don't think there's enough,
To
I don't
overturn
think,
it.
or
Yeah.
like, it was called a fumble on the field. They're
Yeah.
like, I think there should be overturned.
Mm.
And then it wasn't. They're like, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. They're doing their hippity doo shit, and um, that was like first play of the game. Was that happening? No, I think we just got a good stop, and then we drove back down the field and kicked a field goal. That got us up by 8, and we just held on to the lead.
Mm.
And yeah, and then we got a four. We held them on a fourth down conversion on our side of the field, and yeah,
Mm.
that's how we walked away with the game. Um, yeah, it was exciting all around. It kept me on my feet, nervous, excited. I was just like, I was
Was that
texting
the
you.
game too? Yeah, we were texting and I was on my device and you're on yours. And I can't remember how I figured out, but I figured out I was slightly ahead
Yeah.
of you.
And you're
And
like,
that's
89-yard pick
pick
six.
six.
I'm just like,
You're like, no, stop.
and I'm just like, I will block you
You're
right
like,
now.
dude, are you joking right now? I was like, yeah, I can't keep this up.
Yeah, I was like so close to hitting the block button. Like, I
Just
cannot.
yeah.
I need to watch. Even if I am behind, I can't have you telling me what's going on.
You
And then
were
what was
behind by like a good like minute or two.
it was like a solid 45 seconds or
Yeah,
so.
I was like looking at it, I was like, damn,
Yeah.
he's way behind.
And like what was even worse though is that like ESPN would update faster than my Hulu did.
Yeah,
And so like I get some like
it did
ESPN
that for
stuff,
Nebraska too.
and
Yeah.
I'm sitting there like, I'm about to fucking delete ESPN right now too. It's just
Mhm.
like, I don't need to hear anything about this game until
Yeah.
the game's over for me. Um but yeah, so like for the Big 12, like we had 4 teams that were competing for the Big 12 championship.
Mm.
Um Fucking Colorado needed 2 of the 3 teams to lose.
Mm.
None of them lost.
Yeah,
So
big fucking
yeah,
thing to ask for.
yeah. And then BYU needed Kansas to beat Baylor, and then they needed to beat Houston.
Mhm.
That was the 2 things they needed. BYU, or yeah, they needed KU to beat BYU. Yeah,
Baylor, yeah.
yeah, Baylor. Baylor ended up beating KU, but still beat Houston, which Houston winning or losing got Iowa State in
Mhm.
to the Big 12 championship. And so I'm like, what a whirlwind of events. Like,
Mhm.
not like, I love it,
For
but also
Arizona
hate
State,
it.
did they need anything special or were they
No,
kind
they
of
were at the
in?
top.
They were in
Yeah,
regardless
yeah,
as long as they didn't lose.
yeah.
Mm.
They just didn't need to lose. And yeah, they were just in it to win. But yeah, like if they had lost, they would have been out.
Yeah.
Or depending on how the other teams did.
You're right.
Yeah. But yeah, it was like, I looked at a whole PDF document
Mm.
of like what if scenarios
Mm.
of like what team needs what team to win. I'm like sitting there connecting the fuck. Like I looked like I had red string all across the room,
Mhm.
just like
Beautiful
connecting.
mind style,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was just like what the fuck. And I was like, how do I convey this into the podcast? I have no idea, but I'll try my best with my fucking backward ass.
Mm.
Um, and then for the Big Ten, you're
You just want to click on the Nebraska game. Um yeah, it sucks, especially when I mean, you look at it,
Mhm.
there's a lot of stuff that stuff we talked about all season.
Yeah.
So the first play that they scored, well, actually, okay, so I'll go way back. In the second or in the first half, we did just about it was like kind of good enough.
Yeah.
Like they didn't like our defense held strong. They didn't get their first down until like less than 45 seconds in the second quarter.
Mhm.
So and we were up by 10.
Yeah.
Fucking pretty great start.
Yeah.
I wish we scored a little bit more. I think we had a missed field goal in that first half. I can't remember if it was in the first half or in the third. But yeah, we had another yeah, missed field goal. So
Mhm.
another fucking special teams blunder
Yeah.
situation. I think it was a bad snap. Um sec or into the third. Um we hold them to like a 3-and-out. Um a bad punt.
Yeah.
The punt returner gets out of the way, but it kind of looks like if you're not looking, it kind of looked like it hit his back. It didn't.
Yeah.
So another one of our guy wants to go jump on it. I don't think I think the Iowa player made contact with the ball first,
Mhm.
but it's one of those things that it was ruled that Iowa had the ball and you need good evidence to overturn that.
Yeah.
And I don't think the evidence was really there. I think there's only like one good camera angle that showed that the Iowa player touched it first, while all the other ones were kind of like iffy and hard to
Yeah.
tell. Um, but being our defense getting pinned deep, like within our 5 and 10, in our red zone,
Yeah.
held them to three or holding to a fucking field goal. So I was
That's
like, all right,
pretty
pretty
solid
pretty
right there.
good, pretty fucking good.
They knew their backs were up against the wall and
And
held
yeah,
out. Yeah.
hey, quick change situation. We just got into a 3-and-out, and here we are.
Yeah.
Fucking gotta do what we gotta do. Um, that and then fucking we had I think it was Naylor was like wide open in the middle of the field for like a first down,
Yeah.
dropped the ball. Um, so like we had a ton of just 3-and-outs and missed opportunities like going down the field.
Yeah.
I think we had two fumbles by Dylan Raiola just because he couldn't get good pass protection. I mean that's what ended the game for us.
Yeah.
And their first touchdown really shouldn't have been a touchdown. It was just terrible tackling, which you just don't really see with Nebraska's defense. But they got like a 79-yard passing touchdown. And if you look at it, it was like their one big play that they
Yeah.
needed. So it's one of those situations that I'm looking at like if you're an Iowa fan, you cannot look at me and go like, "Oh, we beat your ass." Like
Yeah.
we handed you that win on a
Mhm.
silver platter, just fucking shooting ourselves in the fucking foot.
Yeah.
Like kudos to your defense who kept you in that game,
Yeah.
but your offense did you like zero fucking
Yeah.
favors.
And like typically with Iowa, like that's always kind of been a staple though, is that like they have
Mm.
a good run offense.
Yeah, but we held that. I
Yeah.
mean, if you look, or so 71 yards. I think that 71 was
Yeah.
off of wait, then that wasn't the touchdown. So okay, 73. That two
Yeah.
receptions for 73. That was they got their
Yeah.
73 yards in that one play.
Yeah.
And holding a running back to 71 yards, I mean,
Yeah.
or that's ours. All right, so they're not showing on there. But yeah, it just sucks. And I mean the whole thing is with Dana Holgerfield or Holgensen or however you pronounce his last name.
Mhm.
Like I haven't seen it enough yet that I'm like, oh, sick that he signed a 2-year contract with us.
Yeah.
I mean, in the last couple games, I mean, like, yeah, we blew out fucking Wisconsin, but other than
Mhm.
that, like in the other games that he's been, I mean, you look at UCS is a really quick turnaround, so you kind of give him a little bit of like grace there. But Iowa, you got 3 weeks with the team, and I mean,
Yeah.
now you're looking at like off season. Let's see how the team really responds to after a loss like this. I mean, how many times are we gonna allow fucking Iowa to beat us
Yeah.
last 30 seconds of a game because of a fucking field goal attempt?
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing in Nebraska. Like they have the series, the video series, chasing three,
Yeah.
and we fucking like most of the losses we had this season, except for Indiana,
Yeah.
were all fucking one score games. I'd have to go and double check, but I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
that's yeah. Indiana was the only
It
team that
sounds about
really
right.
beat our
Like there's
ass.
like one, maybe two
Yeah,
that were like two-score games, but it was like because the other team's defense like pick six or some shit like that, or like
and fucking, I mean, it's cool that we're going to bowling. Like we're going bowling first time in like 7 years. I
yeah.
think 2016 was the last time. So
And I'm happy for you guys.
It's cool that we're
Yeah,
doing that. Looking at like the transfer portal, we're losing so many people right
yeah,
now. Some of the people that we got coming in, I mean, we got a tight end from LSU.
mhm,
That's a pretty good
yeah,
pickup.
that is a pretty good pickup.
Um, but we lost Tony White and our defensive line coach. They're going to Florida State, which they probably got offered more money.
Yeah,
And I mean, like Florida State, I mean, they got good defenders coming out of there. I mean,
yeah.
Jalen Verse or Jared Verse, who just got on the Rams. He's a rookie and he's
Yeah.
fucking lighting up the
Oh,
NFL
dude,
right
he
now.
is.
So like that has a good blueprint for like a good defense, but it sucks. And the interim defensive coordinator, like we'll see, he's gonna do for the bowl game, and I don't know if maybe how well he does and how
Mhm.
well the team responds if they'll keep him
Yeah,
in the next season. But damn, like just the most heart wrench. And it was the same thing.
yeah,
ESPN could fucking like spoil it for me.
yeah.
So there was like two timeouts back to back. Like Iowa called a timeout and then Nebraska called a
Mhm.
timeout. So I just got tired of like waiting and I looked on the screen like Iowa won, put down the phone and I like went and got a beer because I was just so fucking mad.
Yeah,
Like I did not score a single. Like if we would have just scored a field goal
yeah.
in the third,
Tie game.
tie game.
Yeah.
But it
Got
just
one good drive.
well even I'm like fucking if you didn't give them like so the field goal that I really don't. I mean, it's cool that we held them to a fucking field goal right there,
Yeah,
but I mean, we didn't respond
yeah,
in the second half at all, except for our defense, and then they just gave up one big play and one crucial drive, which got them into field goal range.
yeah,
So it sucks. We'll see who we go bowling
yeah.
against. So
I'm
hopefully,
excited for
hopefully it's
that.
a good
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm, uh, I'm hoping to try and talk to my boss about like, "Hey, I'm a big Iowa State fan,
hmm
and I know we gotta work this Saturday,
But
but can at least I dip out at 11 just to watch the game?"
sure.
Like, you can say no, and I
But I'm
totally understand.
just
I'm just asking.
Yeah, just asking.
I'm just shooting my shot,
Never hurts to ask.
and it's just like
Jules. Sorry, she's just chewing on a toy.
Iowa State has only ever been to the Big 12 championship twice.
Mm,
I've watched one, and it pissed me off because it was against Oklahoma, and like there was a lot of bullshit missed calls. Like I could pull up clips about it, and I've talked about it before.
mm.
Um, and that was Brock Purdy's junior year. This is Rocco Beck's sophomore year, and it's got me fucking happy, and I'm hoping like happy, but also extremely anxious because I'm like I've seen this before.
They're playing in Dallas?
Yeah,
Why Dallas of all
'cause that's
places?
where Texas was. Texas was part of the Big 12.
Sure,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so like I think they just kind of continue to hold it down there, and I think that's where the Big 12 headquarters is at. I
Okay,
think, don't quote me on it. It's
okay.
like down there in Texas.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, they've always held it down there in Texas though. And I think for the two teams that are playing it is a fairly neutral area for both of them, and like you just have to travel well to have like any sort of like
Mm.
home field advantage, which Iowa State has been known to travel well. I don't know if Arizona State does or not. We'll find out on Saturday.
Well, I thought we showed a clip at the beginning of the season of like some guy interviewing like Arizona State fans, and they
Yeah.
had like zero football IQ.
Oh yeah,
So I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
know if maybe that's changed since they've been successful, and like
Oh,
I just don't know
man,
the
we
football. I don't think that's just a big football culture. I mean, even
yeah,
like running into like an Arizona Cardinals fan, I don't think
yeah,
they're
die
not the
hard,
most
yeah,
passionate football,
yeah.
you know, environment. So I don't
Isn't
know.
that weird? So like something I've kind of noticed that like teams that play a lot in like the warmer areas
Mm,
of the country
mm.
don't really have the most passionate fans. Sometimes they do, like Georgia is an example, or exemption in Alabama.
I don't think that's a good example. Well, like what you said, I don't think that's
I'm saying like
like
there are exceptions,
like the
or
LA Dodgers. You don't think they got a good fan base?
they do, but like it's not the same as like some of the other teams that like I don't know. I'm coming up with bad comparisons for it, but
I think if you could rethink that, I
I th-
think
yeah,
because I mean, I feel like if you look at
you know what it
where
was?
most of the teams are, I mean, you got Texas, there's, I mean, if we're just not even talking about football, there's well, if we're just, there's a hockey team, there's two baseball teams, there's two football teams. So it shows like they have the, the market to
Mhm.
have a lot of sports teams out there. I mean,
Yeah,
you got what, Florida, they have the Marlins. Oh, Tampa Bay Rays. So they have 2 baseball teams. They have 2 football teams. They have a hockey team.
Mhm.
I think you have to relook at that.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a I don't think this
No,
is
you're
I don't
yeah.
think that's a fair thing to say. Now that I'm just like looking, I was like,
I'm just speaking out of my ass on that
mm,
one. Um,
can you watch out? I don't want her chewing on your toy and has to pull shit out of her ass for.
I think what I was like thinking about for that one though was more basketball because that's something I noticed. Unless
Mm,
it's like playoffs, then those like stadiums really fill up.
mm.
Like I remember in like middle school and a little bit of high school when I watched
Like college,
professional basketball.
professional. Well,
Yeah.
I thought the Lakers. I thought that's like the
So
big
like the
team.
Lakers are like
Yeah,
the ones that I would say are more the exception,
yeah.
and it's mostly just because LeBron's there or some sort of big name is there.
What about like Miami Heat? I feel like
Miami
they're.
Heat was only really popular when LeBron was there.
I thought
So
they were
like
pretty popular when Dwayne Wade was there and like whatnot.
they were, but like not as big.
Mm.
Like he barely dragged them to
Can
one
we?
playoffs.
I don't know basketball that much. Can we look up like who's won the last couple championships? Because I know the Celtics just
Um,
won.
Celtics just won, and I think the Denver Nuggets won the last one.
I thought it was when did Toronto win? Because I remember that
Toronto won
like that was
3 or 4 seasons ago.
okay. Because I remember Drake was talking about. Actually, we don't even need to look this up. But how many professional basketball teams are there? I feel like there's not a ton.
There's like
More
I
or
want
less
to
than
say there
30.
I want to say more than 30.
130.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But like not super high up. I think it's kind of close to the NFL's where there's 32.
Yeah.
Here, actually, that is an interesting. How many NBA?
30 on the
30.
nose.
Okay. So I wasn't right or wrong.
So
Yeah.
can we just pull up the list of NBA teams? Okay, so that's not
I'll just go to here.
yeah, there we go. All right, so let's just so
So you got
in the
the
Atlantic, I feel like none of them are like a warm. I mean, you can kind of put in some of the coast, but like, they
yeah.
get their things. Um Not the Northwest, the Central. No, they're all pretty up north. Pacific, okay, so you have the Golden State, LA Clippers, Los Angeles Lakers, Phoenix Suns, and Sacramento. They're like, okay, those are
Yeah.
all very warm teams. I don't know how well they perform. San
Yeah.
Antonio's gotta be warm. New Orleans gotta be warm. I'm not wearing my glasses, but I think that says Memphis.
Yep.
We'll put that in. It's kind of like right there on the Mason-Dixon line, so we'll keep that as warm. Houston, obviously warm. Dallas, warm.
Yep.
Washington, as in DC.
No. Washington State.
Really?
Yes.
There's not a Washington DC basketball team?
Nope.
Are you sure? In the Southwest, or sorry, in the Southeast District, Washington State.
Hang on. Hold up. The Wizards weren't.
I don't
I'd
know
always.
basketball, but I'm just in there in the conference of Southeast, and you got the most northwestern state in
I
the
don't remember the
union.
Wizards being in the East though. They might have got on another
Maybe
team or
when
something like that.
I don't know.
But yeah, Orlando,
Orlando
Miami,
warm.
Charlotte, and Atlanta.
So I would say they're about split half.
Yeah.
I mean exactly half. Warm versus cold. So I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. I
'Cause
hate
you
to
got
call you out on it. I think you're just talking
no.
out of your
Yeah.
ass.
You might be right, but like
Now I'm Washington. Do you think they? I feel like they changed their logo. I don't remember it being. That's a dumb logo.
yeah,
That's awful.
I don't remember the Wizards.
Have the Washington Wizards always been in Washington D.C.? So they originally founded in 1961 as the Chicago Packers and moved to Baltimore, where they were the Baltimore Bullets. And in 1973, moved to Washington Metro. Yeah, so
Huh.
you're wrong.
I just always assumed like they were
Then
Washington State. I never actually looked at the conference.
huh.
Huh.
That was like the last team that Jordan played on, right? Was the Wizards? Because he went
Yeah.
Bulls,
Yeah.
yeah, White Sox.
Yeah, that was the last team he played for.
Hmm.
When you said Jordan, I'm like, first I was like, hang on, who?
That's I
And I
can
was like,
only I can
yeah,
only I'm sure there's other Jordans in the league. I can
yeah,
only name you one for
yeah. And then I was like, I was trying to like go through my list of like Jordans I know in basketball,
Mhm.
and I was like, wait, he probably only knows one.
Casual
Yeah,
fan. You hear him, guys.
I'd put Washington Wizards as like one of those colder teams though.
mm,
Washington D.C. can get pretty fucking cold and snowy.
Comparatively to the hotness of the summer.
No, I'm not saying like the summer, like, but it's one of those coast states where like it gets
Have you
really
ever lived in Washington D.C.?
no.
Okay, I have. So
You
let me
have?
tell you, like,
Does it get
no,
does it
no,
get super snowy?
not
Not really?
comparatively to here.
Okay.
Yeah, Aaron, Washington D.C. Do you think they get super snowy? Kind of, but not comparatively to here. Would you rate them more of a cold state or a warm state or area? Okay,
Okay.
non-biased.
That's surprising though with being right up there next to like Maryland and all that shit.
What do you mean?
And like the New England area because more cold.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You think Washington D.C. is right next to
It's right
New
next to
England?
Maryland, which is right next to fucking.
Not next to New England. It's still like a decent amount away.
What do you determine New England
Pull
as?
up on the map.
Okay.
I never thought we'd be doing this for our podcast.
Should I do colonies or fucking
No,
New England map?
that would work. Yeah, so Maryland is
On the
right.
bottom edge, but it's still right next to
That's so far though. That's like like how can you? I mean, DC is like right
Okay, so this
here,
one has New England just as Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont, which I
and that is about
yeah.
what New England is. Yeah,
And then they also have Massachusetts and Rhode Island.
which yes, you could also yes.
But can you also say like New York and Connecticut?
No.
No.
Well, I don't live there, but I feel like they would tell you no.
Okay.
Maybe in like the upper east side
Yeah, on
of
the
New
east side
York,
of New York, maybe not in
they
New York.
the Martha's Vineyard area, sure. But I actually don't think that's in New York. I think that's in
Okay.
Mass. But yeah, because
I
I
just
mean
always
DC
assumed.
is like I mean no that's so yeah DC is a little bit lower
Yeah,
here.
I've always just kind of called this part New England. That's how I've always just.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So you consider Pennsylvania and Pittsburgh New England?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Because they're like one of the original. Like they're one of the first colonies founded.
What about North Carolina?
North Carolina's also in there, but um,
North Carolina, South Carolina, you consider them a part of New England?
no.
Okay.
I think where I draw the line is at like Maryland, though.
Okay.
Yeah, Maryland and North. That's kind of where I call it. You can maybe throw in Delaware into that, but
Hmm. Whenever we get off of this, because I feel like I could be here all day, I would just be curious to see.
because this one shows Pennsylvania.
Sure,
Yeah.
but
So
I
like,
mean that's definitely more inland.
yeah. I'm sure there's different maps that say different
We
things.
should get
Yeah.
back to sports.
Yeah.
We could be here all day.
Just arguing amongst each other. I've just found the name for the title for this episode is What is New England?
What is New England? A
Before we get in,
sportsman's guide of what is New England.
but yeah, like that's just how I've always envisioned it. And like I remember in like early history classes, that was just kind of like the maps were shown.
Hmm.
I could be,
Well,
absolutely
Plymouth
fucking
Rock was like the first spot.
yeah.
That's like that's
Historical, yeah.
well,
You can't argue against it.
you say that, but dude, with history stuff
Yeah.
nowadays, you never know because then you're gonna the indigenous yada yada yada. Hey, Jules,
The Vikings.
get out of there. And then you have the French and Spanish
Yeah.
explorers and yada yada yada.
But
and then the
Um,
Dutch colonies, but that was later.
Before we go into the NFL, we'll go over our
Cool.
fantasy leagues.
Yeah.
Um,
This is
so
when we start doing editing. This is where we need to have like photos because people
yeah,
can look at it and just go like I feel like when you see who's matched up with who,
yeah,
and you can kind of see.
yeah,
I gotta not to jinx it. I gotta because I jinxed it last week
mhm,
where I was like, oh, we talked about Jules, get out of there. What are you doing? What you doing, goof? Anywho, we talked about what is his name? Two Girls, One Cup,
yeah,
and how he finally got a girlfriend. He's and
yeah.
he finally responds. He finally changes his
His lineup, yeah,
right as we play. I luckily beat the dog shit out of
yeah,
him. But I feel like the player I'm going versus this week too, same situation.
yeah. So I'm going up against, or last week I went up against Epstein's flight log. I won 111 to 97, and that one
Wasn't that when you said that it was like a little too close for comfort for
it
you?
was because definitely for
I'm gonna pull this up too.
the last ranked team,
Hmm.
who's now 3-10, but he was 3-9 at the time. Um,
So your big play, I'm gonna start implementing this. Your big
okay,
players was Jaden Daniels, Devontae
no, that
Adams.
was his.
Excuse me, his
Yeah,
his was his lowest performer was Amari Cooper. But man, he left some points on the bench with Mike Evans, 21 left on the
yeah,
bench. You on the other hand, so your top player with Lamar, yeah, Chris Boswell, last of the Killer Bees, Jaden Reed did you pretty well, McConkey or
yeah. McConkey had 117 yards.
yeah, I told you it was a
Yeah,
good late pickup.
yeah,
Your lowest performer was LA Rams defense, which, um, yeah,
yeah,
but I mean, it's only not
yeah,
like we lost. It's just they were scoring and we didn't do
yeah.
any. George Kittle didn't do you any favors,
Nope.
so yeah,
Well,
I
that
can
was
see
a
how it's
snow
just a little
game.
bit closer than probably where you want it to
Yeah,
be.
that was a snow game, and that's why Amari Cooper also didn't
Yes,
perform well either.
yeah,
Um, and then so OJ was framed, lost to the G spot, 107 to 99. Um,
let's look at what he's so the G spot, their top performer, Russell, uh, Russell Wilson, big. That was a lot of big scoring game there. We'll talk
yeah,
about that in a minute. Jonathan Taylor, Nico Collins, is Tank Dell didn't do him a whole lot. 2.8, and the Rams kicker Cardi only gave him 3. OJ top performer. I mean, no one really to highlight except for Jordan Love, 18 points. James Cook, 18 points. Um,
Juanu Smith or Johnu Smith, um, their tight end.
yeah.
He
So,
got him
okay, for a
16.
tight end this year, tight ends haven't been popping off. And then Chuba Hubbard only got him 2.3.
Yeah,
Caleb Williams, I mean, because the G spot has Caleb Williams, you can't really say like, oh, I'm mad that I left him. I mean,
yeah.
one of those, you could have had
He
either
also
one
has
of them
another
in.
quarterback. He also has Gino on his on his bench.
He does, yeah.
Yeah,
Weird.
yeah. Auto draft team beat Amon Ra Doggin 88 to 72.
So Amon Ra Dog is one of those teams I'm playing this week.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna go in and see how long they haven't played with, but J.K. Dobbins, who's on IR, he started him. Evan McPherson he got injured.
yep,
Um, Wandell Robinson on the Giants only got him 1.6. His top player was Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow. Um, and then Auto Draft Dream Team, fucking Bowers. Was it Brock Bowers?
yeah,
Yeah, 25 points.
yeah.
He had Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield's been doing pretty good, but
Except for this week.
except for
Yeah,
this week, yeah. And Tua was on his bench, who had 25 points. But I mean, he still came away
yeah.
with a win, so nothing to be like too mad
Upset about.
about. Yeah,
Did he draft him as going up against Patrick and Mahomes? Or lost
God
against Pat
damn,
152 to
God
102.
damn, what
Yeah,
the fuck? Where do you get all these points? Okay, so Jalen Hurts, 17, Scary Terry 23, George Pickens about 15, Saquon about 19, Brandon Robinson Jr. It's Brian. Brian Robinson Jr. about 18, Terry McBride 15, Brandon Robinson. No, excuse me, Bijan Robinson. About 22 and a half. The kicker I dropped because I thought the fucking Redskins or the Commanders kicker was going to do me good. Got him 16. Just fucking and
Detroit got him 6.
yeah, I don't think that was
Yeah.
a ton to mention. And then Patrick Mahomes. I mean Patrick Mahomes, Puka Nakua. You know, he didn't really have a ton of. I mean, all the players on his
Yeah.
bench did worse than him, or they were out. So you know, it's one of the things you really can't be mad about.
No.
You got beat, and that's a team you're going versus. Did you draft them
Yeah.
this week, right?
Yeah. Without Lamar or Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Then you played against Two Girls One Cup,
Mm.
133 to 116.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to go through the lineup on that one.
Yeah, I mean, our big players. I mean, continually to be big for me. It's the Los Angeles Chargers, 19 points. Zach Ertz, kind of mad because I had him and Sam Laporta. Zach Ertz has been kind of hot.
Yeah.
But then I had the thought of Sam Laporta's kind of due. Sam Laporta got 2 TDs. Zach
Yeah.
Ertz got 1. But we still came away with a win. Jared Goff, Tyreek, Kyron, Joe Mixon, all those guys got into a touchdown for me. Denver's defense made me nervous towards the end of the game because they got him 20 points.
Yeah.
Bucky Irvin got him 26 points. CJ Stroud and Marvin Harrison Jr. got him 15. T. Higgins about 15. And then just Brees Hall, uh, Aaron Jones Sr., which I didn't know that he was a senior. I feel like it was just always Aaron Jones. And
Yeah.
then,
Maybe he just had a kid.
yeah, maybe. And then
Denver's
Carlos
defense
son.
scored him 20 though.
Yeah. And you're looking at that the points they get. Let's see here if I can click it. If you there's a button you can click and it shows you like
Just go to
what
the
they
game
did.
log and then
Yeah, but it shows
yeah.
like what they did.
So 3 sacks, 3 interceptions, 2
All right,
TDs,
we got it.
and then points allowed was 28 to 34. So like they lost a lot of points there, but like everything else they had was substantial.
And the last team to play was coming for you.
Yep, coming for you 126 to 98 over Tom I'm gonna kiss your kids Brady.
You gotta do the I'm gonna kiss your kids Brady. Because
Uh,
that's like the whole part of the name.
yeah.
Yeah. Um
The
man,
Josh
even
Allen score, like
yeah, Josh Allen scored scored him well. Dalton Schultz got him 15. Najee Harris got him 22 almost. San Francisco's defense -4.
yeah,
I mean that didn't really. I mean Justin Tucker, just not being his usual self. DK didn't
3
perform.
field goals.
Jamal Williams or no, Javonte Williams, and then Cooper Cup, wasn't there.
Yeah.
So and then I mean for coming for you, you had Kyler Murray, Cortland Sutton, who's trying to like really pop off. Jamar Chase, uh, Dondell. What's his first name? I can't remember his first name.
Rico.
Rico Dondell. Alvin Kamara, Njoku, who got like 2 touchdowns or maybe 3.
Yeah.
Dave Anchan, and didn't even have his kicker. Kicker
Nope.
was on IR, and still came away with a win. So
Yeah. Then going into this week, I'm going up against Did He Draft Him, and I'm rocking with Sam Darnold as my starting quarterback.
who's looking to get you the most points? What's the points projections between you two right now?
Oh, he is. 113 to 96.
Whoa,
Yeah.
damn. That because sometimes when they're close, you're like that it can go
Yeah.
anyway.
Well, I'm just hoping
You're
for
still
another.
in a good spot though. If you lose, man, you're not
Yeah.
gonna be too mad.
No.
Or
But
you're not even too mad. It's just like you're not
yeah.
gonna be out of first place or anything
No.
like that. And like, I mean, who knows? Maybe this is the because then Sam Darnold and No, I don't think they did.
Sam Darnold's playing against Atlanta this week,
Yeah,
so,
I
like,
see
there's a
that.
good
I was
chance
I
for
was
him
seeing if
playing
they
well.
I was trying to see if they played each other already this season. I don't think they
Yeah.
did. Jules,
Um,
hey man, get out of the closet.
I
Why don't
want
you go
to
over there for a minute?
I wanna take out Jaden Reed and put in Darnell Mooney, but both those defenses are playing like, Darnell Mooney's playing against Minnesota, and Jaden Reed's playing against Detroit.
Mm.
And so I'm just sitting there like, "Alright, like, who do I like, bench and who do I start?" Um, I have McConkey in there, but he's fucking potentially might sit out because he's got something with his, shoulder?
Hmm.
His knee. David Montgomery playing against Green Bay. Um, Tony Pollard against Jacksonville. George Kittle. And then I just picked up Judy, Chris Boswell, and I went back to Arizona's defense.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got Detroit's defense, which I'm hoping Green Bay can score on them, even though I want Detroit to win.
Yeah,
I just
you know,
yeah.
it,
Gunslinging game. Yeah.
sure.
Where only Jaden Reed and David Montgomery are getting the ball.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, he's got a fucking Jawan Jennings, McBride, Brian Rob or Bijan Robinson, Saquon, Devonta Smith, George Pickens, and then uh, Jalen Hurts. So yeah, I'm hoping on a prayer for this week. But
Yeah.
and then you got Tom. I'm gonna kiss your kids Brady against the G spot, and then you got coming for you against Auto Draft Dream Team. Run the Jewels up against Amara Doggin, which is currently projected 93 to
Yeah.
56.
Yeah, I'm so late in the season, man, that I'm not gonna tell him that he needs to switch up. But
Yeah.
when you look at it, like, so he has Trevor Lawrence, who's on IR, out for the season.
Yep.
Matson's questionable. Uh, who the fuck is Josh Downs? Not sure who that guy is. But they're on a bye. And then he could put in like Noah Fant, DJ Moore, or Debo Samuel, who he has. But I mean, Debo hasn't been popping off this
Yeah.
year. And yeah, he's got J.K. Dobbs. He's got Evan McPherson, who's on IR. Mark Andrews, who's on a bye, and something Douglas, Demario Douglas. So
You know what's crazy with Two Girls One Cup? Who's going up against Epstein's flight log?
what's that? Good
CJ
good
Stroud.
transition.
CJ Stroud is on a bye week this week,
Uh-huh.
and so is his defense, and he hasn't replaced him. But yet last week he finally goes and change up his lineup.
Mm-hmm.
He
Yeah.
just is out the
Yep.
yeah. He just said fuck you, and the easy win, which was still a win, but like yeah. Um, and then Epstein's flight log also has a couple, or he just has Jaden Daniels who's out. But yeah, I just thought that was fucking funny.
I'm not gonna, I'm not. It's not possible for me to end positive this year, but if I can at least end, I don't know, maybe middle of the pack.
Yeah,
If I go what? If I win, I go 5-9. If I win again, I would go 6-9. Hey, that's a good record. Being six and
yeah,
nine, just for the meme of
yeah.
it.
Just for the meme.
And I mean, I would be about middle of the pack depending on how the
Yeah,
rest of these teams kind of shake up. So
you have the chance to get in the consolation one at least.
I don't think so.
If you end up middle of the pack,
But
this is a top 8 teams. So like,
yeah, but I'm just saying, like, I don't think it's gonna.
I'm just saying that like you have a chance to at least fucking
I'm already writing it in that like the season's over, boys. Let's just try to ruin other people's seasons.
yeah.
That's our mindset going into these. Yeah,
You're messaging your players
yeah.
like, hey dog,
There
like
you go.
I'm already losing, but like please show up.
Just show up. You know.
Fucking yeah, it's I when looking at the schedule, I knew you and Diddy Drafton were going to be probably some of my toughest competition.
Well, we played first or second week. It was a really
Yeah,
close,
it was the first week, and then just a
and
couple, or
yeah, then what? 2 weeks ago, I think,
yeah,
and yeah, you beat me the second time, uh, pretty handily. But the first time, I
yeah,
was like, all right, I feel pretty good about it. And then yeah, but
yeah.
Hey man, it's all right. We won
Yeah,
last year. We won the Natty last year,
yeah.
so
Um,
can't all be winners.
no.
So
So going on the week 13 and how they scored. So we did very well in our picks last week. I only missed 3. You only missed 2.
and if I did have the option to go back, I would change that Dolphins pick.
Yeah,
Not one of my better picks. But everything else I stand pretty good with. I
yeah,
mean, we'll read into it.
yeah. So the first one, Lions beat the Bears 23-20.
Yeah, these first three are Thanksgiving.
Yeah, these are
Yeah.
all the Thanksgiving games. And then Cowboys Giants was 27-20. I'd picked the Giants,
Mm-hmm.
and they at least showed up. They
They
started
yeah.
to have a fourth quarter comeback, but then ended up not being able to finish out.
Who was their quarterback? Did they go with Drew Lock?
Yeah, they went with Drew Lock.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the Packers beat the Dolphins 30-17.
And so we're going 1-1 going into our first,
Yep.
and then our last 1-1 is at the end of the game. No, sorry, we had a couple.
Yeah, I had the Falcons, you had the
Yeah,
Pats, and I
yeah,
had the Ravens.
yep. Sorry, but that was just for that day. Yeah, we
yeah.
had
Um,
Ah,
Chiefs Raiders. This
man,
could have been an L for us, and honestly, I would have been
I would
happy
have been
to
happy.
see.
I would
Yeah.
have been happy, especially how McCordle, how do you pronounce his name?
O'Connell.
McConnell. Sorry.
Yeah.
Um,
O'Connell. No McConnell, just O.
oh,
Yeah.
Connell.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
He was 20,
driving.
23 for 30 for 300 or 23 for 35, 340 yards and 2 TDs.
I mean, where were they when they had that fumble? Can you go on to
Oh, they were on like the 20.
Oh, you
Yeah,
hate to
they were
see
on the
it.
Chiefs 20.
And I mean, they're probably just draining clock because a field goal
Yeah.
fucking wins that game, man.
Yeah.
Mm.
And they just had a miscue on the snap and
Which,
fumbled the ball.
as a not a rookie, but as like a fresh, this is your
Yeah.
first or second start of the season.
Yeah.
I think because they had Gardner Minshew was out for a game,
Yeah.
but just not a ton of reps.
Yeah. And it's just like just bad time, bad luck.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck for the Chiefs, but and then Sunday I picked the Falcons, you had the Chargers, 17-13.
Pretty close game though.
Pretty close game.
Yeah.
Then the wild one, Steelers beat the Bengals 44-38.
Now I knew this was gonna be a close game. I didn't expect it to be a fucking shootout going back and
I didn't
forth.
either. Fucking Russ,
did you see that first?
pick six?
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
that was crazy.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go to the box score for this one.
Yeah,
Like,
Cam Taylor Britt, maybe some illegal use to the hands to the face,
Yeah.
and got away with it, and then proceeded to just get absolutely burnt in the secondary.
Russ 29 for 38, 414 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Fucking Joe Burrow 28 for 38, 309 yards of passing, 3 TDs, and 1 interception.
Well, and Najee with the ball, man, he's
Yeah.
still. I mean,
So like Najee Harris got interviewed. He said that first drive he was still feeling it from Thanksgiving's dinner.
yeah, because he had like some sort of thing. I
Yeah.
remember watching. He came off the field and he was kind of
Yeah.
breathing heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said like I just needed a bit to breathe down, like breathe a little bit, got some oxygen, and I was like after that I was good to go. And then yeah, fucking George Pickens, fucking 3 receptions, 74 yards, 1 TD. Jamar Chase, 6 receptions, 86 yards, 1 TD. Yeah, it was just high fucking numbers. Like,
Ben Skoranek, just Ben Skoranek and Van Jefferson, both former Rams, but Ben Skoranek had a really good block for you guys to get a good touchdown there. I remember watching that point of the game.
The lowest, correction. The lowest receiving yards was 8. And I just some second stringer, so like not even one of the starters. And Darnell Washington, who I believe is a tight end, had 10 yards, but he only had 1 reception.
What an odd stat that you
Yeah.
thought to highlight.
Well, it was just like compared to everybody else who's at 20 plus
Mm-hmm.
yards of reception with the highest.
Whoa,
being
Joe
86.
Burrow fumbled twice. I didn't know that.
Fumble? Where did you see the fumble?
Lower, like right underneath the receptions.
Oh yeah, fumbles. Yeah. Damn. Yeah, it was just a shootout of a fucking game.
Well, it's funny because Cam Taylor Bray is a former Husker, so they posted it on
Yeah,
their social media of I think it was his first pick six,
yeah,
and like everybody was just like, bro, that's hella illegal.
yeah, hella illegal. But yeah, this was like the highest scoring game this season for the NFL. It was like 92, 93
Really?
points. Yeah.
Mm,
Like combined score.
sure.
Yeah. Um, Vikings beat the Cardinals 23-22. That was a close one. Colts beat the Pats 25-24, which I thought, no, I picked the Colts. Yeah.
Yeah, I was fucking furious because it was on a fucking like last drive.
It was like a 68-yard field goal or something like that. That
68 yard. Wait, go and look that
like
up.
the last field goal attempt was like 68, 67 yards and it
Do
missed.
play by play. So that's the first. So they scored off of the. Yeah. So yeah, they got a touchdown, 4 plays. I mean, they did what they could to get him in,
Yeah.
but I mean, one of the things that I mean,
Yeah.
I was just fucking mad because like I looked and I think it was like at the 2 minute warning, fucking Pats have the ball.
Yeah.
And I think it was first down. I was like, oh, they just need to get a first down, kneel out the clock, and
Yeah.
we win. Nope, fucking Anthony Richardson. This game, dude, if you're a Jets fan, fuming.
Yeah.
Because you
Um
fucking Aaron Rodgers 21-0 going into fucking what was it, second quarter or something like
yeah.
that? Or okay, so it's not going into the second quarter, but I
Going
remember
to
it was
the second half. Yeah.
21-0 at a certain point, and then just did nothing straight
Yeah.
up after that.
26-21. Commanders beat the Titans 42-19.
Oh, that's a fucking so apparently a big man, the 92-yard
Yeah. Yeah.
interception. We didn't have a clip of that, and
No, we didn't.
I'm
I thought I
surprised.
sent one in.
Yeah, I'm surprised that I never saw him, but I heard about it.
Yeah.
But apparently, like, yeah,
It
fucking
was
big man,
yeah,
92
big man,
yard,
92-yard, and it's the
pick
longest
six.
pick six for a big man.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is wild.
Hmm.
I bet he's fucking keeping on that game ball.
Oh, I would
And
too.
like he's on the sideline with the fucking oxygen mask right afterwards. Texans beat the Jags 23-20.
But one of those teams that,
Yeah,
like, again, just the Texans should have won.
like
Like,
heartily.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, especially since they legit
Yeah.
knocked out Trevor
Trevor Lawrence.
Lawrence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which like sad to see that happen to a player.
Yeah. I'm
It's
hoping that whenever he wakes up, he's on either on a brand new team or
yeah.
new coach, new something,
Yeah, knew something because the Jags just need to do something different.
Yeah.
Um Rams beat the Saints 21-14.
Closer game than I think we wanted.
Yeah.
We didn't do anything in the first half. We couldn't get a run. We couldn't fucking I think it was like, well, it's not even that. So we had like a 3 and out, and then the Saints just dominated time possession.
Yeah.
We had a good drive. I think it was a missed field goal, and then it was another 3 and out. Like we only had like 3 drives in the first half.
Yeah.
It was the first time that we've been shut out in the first half since Sean McVay took it
Yeah.
over. But then the second half is like, hey, we're gonna come out and we're
gonna come out and play.
gonna come out and play, and that's exactly what they did.
The Bucks Panthers 26-23. A lot like I don't know what's been going on in Carolina lately. They've been showing up. Like Bryce Young is playing good again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, what is going on with Carolina? Are
Mm-hmm.
they just like, you know what? We're on demon time right now. Like this is the end of the season. We're not getting in there. Let's just try and fuck up these teams. And like,
Either that, or maybe Bryce Young's like, dude, you're not gonna replace me with
yeah,
fucking Andy Dalton.
yeah,
You're not gonna fucking replace me again.
yeah. Bryce Young, 26 for 46, 298 yards of passing and 1 TD.
This was our last split of the.
Yeah. Eagles Ravens 24-19. Saquon fucking like both teams running backs were like shut down, but like not really shut down.
This is the game for me though, because I'm pretty sure Saquon, yeah, he actually got in there and scored.
Yeah.
This is the game for me though that I'm like looking at like I'm kind of leaning Saquon over
Yeah.
Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Um,
Which like during that game I saw pop up like MVP candidates and it was fucking Lamar, Derek, Saquon, Jared Goff, and then
Josh Allen has to be
Josh
on
Allen.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, all these are solid picks.
Remember when I said Jared Goff and
Yeah.
you were just like, nah, man, I wouldn't do that.
Well, I
I
said he's
remember.
up there.
No, you didn't.
Yes,
You
I
said you were
did. I
like, no,
guarantee it. It's fucking recorded.
you're
You
like,
can look
no,
back.
you said what you said is like you were like, I wouldn't put him up there. I would put him in offensive player of the year. That's what you said.
No,
Yes, it is.
no.
All right, we'll go back and watch. But I'm pretty sure you're like, nah, man.
I
Like
said he's up there, but
yeah,
he's
you
not my
said he
first
was
pick.
up there, but you're like, I think you said you're not in your top 5.
No, he's in my top 5, not my
Now he
top pick.
is. Yeah.
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 I said he's up there in the top 5, not my top
But
pick.
I remember bringing up the conversation like,
Oh,
why
you
aren't people
did.
talking
Yeah.
about it?
No, and I
And
agree with you on that. Yeah.
okay, whatever. Keep going.
The Bill. This was like the Snowmageddon
Did
game.
you see how Christian McCaffrey came down on his knee?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Ugh.
He's
Ugh.
out
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
And it sucks, man. I saw some guy like put together a compilation of all the injuries that Christian McCaffrey and like you know that he's injury prone, but then when you watch that video of every injury he's sustained
Yeah.
since he's been in the NFL, you're just like, damn.
Yeah.
It's pretty much a liability. I
Yeah.
mean, I know when he first came to San Francisco, that was probably his best season. I
Yeah.
don't remember him being out more than like 2 games.
Yeah.
And then this
And it
season,
wasn't like back-to-back games either. It was
no,
like,
yeah,
yeah.
and fucking this season just
Yeah.
not there. Um, and I mean, what are they saying? Your best ability is
Your weakest link.
no.
No?
Your best ability is available
Availability.
or yeah, your best ability is availability.
I've never heard that one.
You've never heard that?
No.
Yeah, just like you're always good about just showing up. I'm surprised it's not like
Yeah.
an army thing of just like,
No.
hey, you're always good if you just show up to like
I've
PT or
always just
something.
heard like you're
You,
only
you
as
need to
strong
be
as your
here.
weakest link.
Oh,
Yeah. Or like be here, dickhead.
sure.
It's just
Yeah.
like,
But yeah, I mean, your
yeah.
best attribute is being available and
Yeah.
fucking. I think when depending on how long fucking Christian McCaffrey plays, I think people are gonna look at that going like, dude, he might not be a Hall of Famer
Yeah.
because of just the constant injuries. I mean,
Yeah.
he was stuck in Carolina for so long, just kind of rotting away for them, and then, I mean, potentially just. I mean,
Yeah.
if this could have been a great season for them to get a ring
Yeah.
after almost getting one last year.
Yeah. And then just riddled with injuries
And I
from the
mean, it's just one of those
get-go.
things. I don't know how much longer San Francisco can keep Trent
I
Williams
think this is the
and
last
Brock
year.
Purdy,
Yeah.
George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, who they just paid, Deebo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey,
Yeah.
and then you got Fred Warner in the backfield. Who's another one of those guys in the backfield? I don't know who they're. I don't think they got any
Yeah.
like big name kickers out there. But
Moody.
Moody,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, now Jawan Jennings is starting to play good too.
Yeah, but he's a
He's been
rookie.
Yeah, rookie, but like
Yeah, him and that other rookie who got shot, I think are the only.
Parcells.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are the only 2 people that are like showing up.
Yeah.
Which I mean, it sucks because then you got Brock Purdy, who they just paid, because he got off
Yeah.
his rookie contract, and I think a lot of those demons, because people were saying like, "Oh, assistant quarterback," and it's like,
Yeah.
well, like it's starting to creep up. Like, look at Patrick Mahomes. Look at the team that he doesn't have, and they're still getting wins.
Yeah.
Why don't you look at a team like the 49ers and
Yeah.
they're not putting together those wins. And I
Yeah.
think it's one of those things that either they're going to start losing big name players or Kyle Shanahan is going to be put on a really hot seat.
I think
which
Kyle Shanahan's going to be put on a hot seat for the next season, and they're probably going to lose some players.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're in a rough spot for the 49ers.
It's one of those, I think everybody in the NFL world is kind of looking at them, weirdly enough, in the NFC West as being the weakest team.
Yeah.
When I think we projected them at the beginning of the season being like the team in the
Yeah.
NFC West.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah, it does. It really does. But then like the other big thing that came out of that game though was that Josh Allen's the first quarterback in like I forgot how many years it was, but it's been a hot minute since like the 90s or 80s to have a passing touchdown, a catching touchdown, and a rushing touchdown.
He had a catching touchdown?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
So he threw the ball to Amari Cooper, and Amari Cooper immediately got stuffed, and he was following through since it's a snow game. And he just kind of put his hands out, and Amari Cooper just tossed him the ball, and he just ran in for the end zone.
That's funny.
Yeah. So like he got a passing touchdown off that stat.
Well, it's funny that Amari Cooper didn't get because they usually get stats for a passing
Yeah.
touchdown.
So
Because I
like
know fucking
because he threw the ball forward.
yeah.
Um, fucking that was the pass of the play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I get that. I'm just surprised because we were talking about Amari Cooper didn't score a lot of points last week. I'm surprised he didn't get fantasy points for a touchdown
So that's
pass.
because he lateraled it behind him. Because there was already one forward pass. That counts as the one pass for the play.
But
That's kind of
what about flea flickers where it's or not flea flicker, but one of those ones where you throw it out to a screen and then the screen throws it out because then
that person.
they still get the touchdown pass for that.
Yeah, whoever
Yeah,
got the screen pass is the one who gets the passing touchdown.
yeah.
Yeah,
So why doesn't Amari Cooper get it?
because he was already past the line of scrimmage, and
So he lateraled it behind him.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So wait, why did he get it? Whatever. All
So
right.
like he went out on the flat,
Yeah, no,
he caught
I
it.
get what you're
Yeah,
saying. Where like Amari Cooper's getting stuff and he lateral it behind him.
yeah,
I just don't know why that's considered like a catching touchdown and Amari Cooper doesn't get credited for the pass.
because Josh Allen was the one who threw the pass initially.
But he threw the pass back to him.
It still counts as the one. I don't even understand it
So you're
either.
telling me on the score sheet,
Yes.
Josh Allen got a touchdown pass from Josh Allen. That's what you're telling me.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna have to see this.
I don't know where it's gonna say it at on here, but
Um
Josh Allen, 7 yards reception with a
yes.
touchdown.
Yes. So that conversion.
Josh Allen, 2 touchdown passes.
Well, no, okay. So go to game. Go to the go up. So go to play by play, and then whatever touchdown it shows. So whatever, just go to touchdowns and read them.
I don't think it was this one, but
It's gonna be at the bottom. Or no, first and goal. Right up. Okay, so not that one.
yeah. I think it was a little bit later, but
Shotgun. Josh Allen pass short to something Hollins for 7 yards touchdown.
it's a T-Bass. That one was.
Well, he didn't throw it to T-Bass, but yeah, he got the extra point.
Oh, sorry.
There you go.
Oh, it's Hollins.
Yeah.
Um.
Sorry, I'm writing my shit. Okay, right there.
Josh Allen pass
Short left.
left to Amari Cooper.
Lateral to Josh Allen for a 9-yard touchdown.
Tyler Bass extra point.
Okay. So they do report that Amari Cooper.
Lateraled it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that like on here in the receivings.
No, I know what you're
Yeah.
saying.
If you see the 2 touchdowns.
And that's not what I'm arguing. My
Yeah.
question is why doesn't Amari Cooper get the credit for the pass? That's my question.
I don't understand either. I think it's just because you threw it behind him.
Okay.
Yeah. And that there was already only one forward pass, which there's only one allowed.
Damn it. When you look at San Francisco fumbles, Kyle Juszczyk, Debo Samuel, and Brock
Yeah.
Purdy, who are you could probably assume are all leadership on the team.
Yeah.
And what the hell do you say? Like,
Yeah.
guys, we got to do better at protecting the ball. It's like, yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
You guys protecting the ball.
The one dude on the bench. Yeah, you do. And you had the Browns losing the Broncos 41-32.
Dude,
like
we were watching this probably in the best atmosphere. It was like
Yeah.
a dead as fuck Applebee's.
Yeah.
Nobody was there. I think we just got done
Yeah.
with the interview. And yeah, it was just fucking touchdown after touchdown.
Yeah. And we're like, I wanted to sit next to you because I knew the TV was right there.
Yeah, I was
our buddy.
I kept looking over.
Yeah, our buddy fucking took it. I'm like, God damn it! I want to
Yeah.
eat my food and still watch.
Also, dude, that was terrible food
Yeah.
there. I was so mad.
I was it was not the best.
I was a hungry boy.
All right, so going on the week our final stats are like so far for in week 13. I have 129 for 62. You're 115 for 79.
So if I have more weeks like that, man, we'll be catching up.
Yeah.
I don't think so, but it's possible.
We have a lot of teams on bye this week.
Yes.
So we got Packers, Lions.
I'm gonna roll Lions.
Same here.
You got the green light on.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I didn't notice it until I looked up and it was like weird. I think you got to go up top and
Yeah, I gotta click out and then
yeah,
highlight.
that's dumb.
Well, it's just a little bit faster to do it that
No,
way.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's dumb that
Yeah.
you have to do that. Why doesn't it just default to black?
Lions and Lions.
Yeah, but dude, I wouldn't be surprised if the Packers do get a win here
Yeah,
because they'll be actually in Detroit. Do you think you're going to see Aiden Hutchinson at the end of the season if they go to playoffs?
maybe. I
Maybe.
mean, he's already
No, like I'm
fucking.
not saying like I'm saying do you as do you think not like what you're seeing, do you legitimately think like with the two or the things in between your 2 ears that you'll see Aiden Hutchinson come back?
If they make it to the Super Bowl,
Yeah. Would you be
maybe.
worried about rushing him?
I would. I wouldn't put him like every play. I'd like use him every now and then.
Where it's like, hey, we're
Get out
bringing a
there, yeah.
blitz. Man,
Like maybe
I
get
would
him
love
out
to
there for a
see
play
it.
or two,
I
just
would
so he
love to
can.
see it, but damn,
Yeah.
that just makes me so nervous for
Oh
him.
yeah.
It's cool to see him walking again
Yeah. Well, he's
after
fucking.
that leg break.
Yeah. He's full on running in the water,
Yeah.
like in the pool.
Mhm.
I'm just like, that is wild. He's already there.
Mhm.
I'm like, either I don't know what the fuck they're feeding
Rehabbing
him.
has to be like every
Yeah.
day. They're pumping
He's
him.
doing it 12 hours a day. He's like a blue collar worker fucking out
Mhm.
there, 12-hour shifts fucking in rehab. Um,
I'm gonna
then you
go.
got Jags
I'm
Titans.
gonna go Titans.
Yeah.
Who the hell
Um,
is who's even the backup for the Jags now? Do you know?
I don't even know.
I'll Google it while you're.
Typing.
Yeah. What the
Yeah,
hell?
it's fucking
What the hell? What the
while
hell?
you're doing that. Jets Dolphins. I'm gonna go Dolphins
Dolphins.
over Jets. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Jets win here, just with how the Dolphins have played throughout the season so far.
That was before, like, oh,
Even
Mac Jones. It's
Mac
Mac Jones. I
Jones.
forgot. Yeah. See some Mac Daddy action.
Yeah.
I'm still rolling with
Like,
Titans.
yeah, same here. Like, I'm picking Dolphins, but I wouldn't be
I mean, you
surprised.
got interconference rivals.
Yeah.
Not that it's like a huge rivalry.
No.
Um, but to me, how the Jets are playing says
Yeah.
more about than how the Dolphins have been playing. Because, like, yes, they are right now 5-7, but if you
Yeah.
look at it, most of those losses are because Tua wasn't in the
Yeah.
game. And a lot of the games that they've had Tua back, well, I don't want to say a lot of them, but
A good majority of them.
now that
Yeah.
he's back,
Yeah.
he's winning.
Then you have Falcons, Vikings. I'm gonna go Vikings.
And you know what? Just to make it a little spicy, I'm gonna go with the Falcons. Um, not that I legitimately, I don't know. It's one of those things that like it's not even like a gut feeling. It's just like let's just
Yeah.
have fun here.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go because
No, I get it.
Minnesota is looking to be the favorite.
Yeah.
So why not? Let's see if
Yeah.
Kirko be cooking.
Saints, Giants. I'm gonna go Giants.
Really?
If they keep Drew Lock in there, yeah.
That is, I'm gonna go Saints. But man, that is crazy that you
The Saints have been
they've been rocky. They've been
yeah,
rocky.
they've been rocky. And I just think this is gonna be a surprise win for the Saints, or surprise win, or surprise loss for the Saints.
Yeah, I mean, so you're wanting violence in New Orleans is what you're telling
Yeah.
me. You
Yeah.
want murders.
Yeah.
Okay. You're gonna
Um
go, I want to go Panther. I'm keeping it spicy.
no, on this one I'm gonna go
Let's
Eagles.
go Eagles.
But I am really hoping that the Carolina Panthers are able to win, mostly for my fantasy.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Like, I'm not even mad if I take an L on this one.
But if Saquon gets shut down,
Yeah,
who he's got the quarterback too, doesn't he? Fucking
Jalen
Jalen
Hurts
Hurts.
and Devonta Smith.
He has all three of those guys.
Yeah,
That's crazy. Um, so my sports betting people out there, they have the Eagles as -13. So they're saying that the Eagles are favored to win by at least 13
yeah,
points. They feel by that's almost 2 touchdowns.
yeah. And I'm just sitting there like, I don't know. The Panthers are starting to show up these last 2, 3 games.
Mhm.
Like, fuck, they kept the Chiefs honest.
Mhm.
They fucking, who was it?
The Buccaneers.
The Buccaneers.
Mhm. Rob them down to the wire.
And then, like, maybe
But
Bryce Young is
that's
just
still divisional ball
Yeah.
for. I mean, not the Chiefs. The Chiefs, I think they just get those, those wins. Because I mean, are
Yeah.
you gonna look at like the Raiders and Buccaneers, right? That's
Yeah.
a couple games down from here. Are you gonna look at it like, well, the Raiders almost had the Chiefs win, and the Buccaneers almost lost to the Panthers. Therefore, I'm gonna go.
No, I think the Buccaneers are definitely the better team on this one.
Uh-huh.
But like that's why I picked the Eagles against Panthers. I'm just really hoping
Yeah.
that whatever's
Yeah, yeah,
going
yeah.
on in Carolina continues to happen, but they actually win on this one.
Sure. Yeah.
Um Brown Steelers, the rematch.
This
I'm
is
gonna go
in
Steelers.
Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna go Steelers.
Man, I don't even know anymore.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it was the snow playing it, and I think if you have a team win like how they did against Cincinnati,
Yeah.
yeah, Cincinnati, you gotta be. I'm talking myself into the Steelers,
Yeah.
but it's one of those things that I'm not gonna be surprised if J-Bo just has another
Yeah.
fucking game
Yeah.
where the snow's just gonna come out for him.
Yeah.
It's not even projected to
He
snow in
prays. He
Pittsburgh.
does a snow
Yeah.
dance. Yeah.
Oh, the good Lord blessed me to play in football weather. And I was just like, yes, sir. Yes, he did. So yeah, I'm gonna go Steelers.
You're gonna go Steelers.
I'm gonna go Steelers. But AFC North Ball could
AFC North
anything
ball.
can happen.
And then we kind of talked about it.
Bucks,
Raiders,
yeah.
Bucks. I'm gonna go Bucks. Then we have Seahawks, Cardinals.
These guys just did play.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Cardinals.
I'm gonna go Seahawks because the last time I rolled, I went with the Cardinals, and if I remember right, they lost. Granted, I was in Seattle. Um, But I feel like kind of like they're starting to lose that steam as a team.
Yeah.
And like, I remember seeing Buda Baker. I haven't watched any of the Cardinals games lately, but I remember Buda Baker was just kind of like on everybody's.
Yeah.
Everyone was talking about him. I haven't really heard that anymore. Like he hasn't been moving around
Yeah.
as he has been. Even though Kyler Murray just did really well.
Yeah. The Cardinals defense is ranked higher than the Seahawks. That's kind of why I'm leaning more towards the Seahawks or the Cardinals. I think they have. I mean, they shut. I want to say they did fairly well against Geno, and it was mostly the running game when they played. So it's why I'm leaning Cardinals.
This game, I'm super nervous for. And
I'm gonna go
I also
Bills.
I also hate that it's at 3 p.m.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that is a fucking Sunday night, Monday night. Like that is a prime
Yeah.
time game. What the fuck are we doing at 3 p.m.?
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll with the Rams. Here's the thing that is so like our defense is gonna create a lot of pressure on Josh Allen, but he's the
Yeah.
number one QB to handle pressure right now in the
Yeah.
league. I feel like he's gonna do a lot of get out of the pocket and try to go in and try to
Yeah.
get yards with his feet. And they're a very high scoring offense versus us who has not been doing very well high scoring. But the Rams need this win to stay competitive.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be in. And here's the thing, dude. As a Rams fan, I can honestly say the LA probably has one of the weakest like fan.
Bases.
Yeah.
For football.
Yeah. I wish they kept it in the Midwest. I wish they stayed in St. Louis. I just hate it. Every time they're like showing like people on the screen, it's just celebrities who they just gave Rams merch to, and they're on their phones.
The
Like
tag's still on the jersey.
they don't give a fuck. Like I hate that shit. But when you look at like Detroit and it's like all the people who like they have been fans their entire life.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I get it. They want to go there for more money.
Yeah.
And they build this nice ass stadium, but I hate it.
This one's gonna be difficult for me.
I'm gonna go with Bears.
I was gonna go Bears too.
Because I think the 49ers, fucking they're done.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey's officially out. Brandon Ayuk, still
Oh,
out.
Jordan Mason's also out too.
Yeah.
He's on IR for the season. Yeah.
There's just not a lot going right for that team. I know George Kittle has been in and out.
Yeah.
He's just not that. high.
I think he's only missed one game, but like,
Yeah, but
yeah,
he's still
he's been questionable for pretty much the whole
And the thing is,
season.
like, they're like, oh well, blocking tight end is like, all right, who's he blocking for?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
for like, who's running the ball right
for
now?
nobody.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so he can block all the fuck he wants,
yeah,
but
he ain't stopping shit.
dude,
Chargers Chiefs.
I'm going Chargers.
I'm gonna go Chargers too.
I think with that that defense is gonna eat him alive.
This weak fucking Chiefs team
Yeah,
alive, and like we say weak, but they're 11-1 or some shit like that.
yeah, maybe go look that up. I don't know.
Yeah, 11-1.
11-1.
Yeah,
Yeah. So make them 11-2, man. Khalil Mack's gonna get back in there. The thing is that it's gonna be close. We need Justin Herbert to just score.
yeah.
That's what they need.
And then I'm gonna go fucking
Let's see.
Bengals over
Oh, I'm
Cowboys.
gonna go Bengals and Cowboys too. So not too many splits for us this week. We got the Vikings and Falcons. I got the Falcons. You got the Vikings. We did the Giants, Saints. Your Giants. I'm Saints. And then Cardinals, Seahawks. Okay, actually, there's a lot more. There's about the same that we did last week.
Yeah. So we got 3 splits.
I feel less confident this week than I do last week about the splits. I'll tell you
Really?
that much. Yeah.
Really over Giants and Saints?
That one I feel pretty good about. The Falcons Vikings one is kind of like
Yeah.
to me that's like a pick'ems.
Yeah.
Seahawks,
Seahawks,
that's again a
pick'ems.
pick'ems. Whereas
Okay.
the Bills Rams, I
Yeah.
would love to say, but
So then we have the Broncos Colts. Broncos Colts.
Ravens.
Ravens. And then Commanders and Texans.
And Patriots.
Texans.
Patriots. I think we're missing one.
Nope.
No?
Yeah. Because this is normally where, like, last year I put our
Okay.
average together. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I remember.
And then highlight it fucking hot pink or some shit like that. And they're all on bye.
Cool.
So yeah, I mean, I like our picks. Even our splits, honestly, they could go either way on them.
Sure.
I was like, not so much on the Falcons Vikings. I think that one's more heavy Vikings on that one.
I don't disagree with that one.
Yeah.
Because I know the Falcons defense isn't like premier.
Yeah.
For me, I'm hoping it's a back and forth high scoring game.
Yeah. Because the Minnesota's defense has been on and off for when they are playing good.
Mm-hmm.
And like I feel like this is a week that they know they can play good on defense.
Where are they playing? I guess I didn't even.
That's good. I think it's in Atlanta. No, it's in Minnesota.
Oh, so they're playing outside. Oh no,
they're in the dome.
Yeah, in their dome. Sorry. So I guess it doesn't really even
It's
matter.
only the Bears and the Packers that have.
Well, I was thinking back a couple years ago. Do you remember when the
stadium collapsed?
The stadium collapsed, and I don't know why. I thought they decided to have like an open stadium since then, but no.
No.
Yeah. Well, so the Bills, they have an open stadium.
Yeah, but I'm saying like of the NFC North.
Okay,
yeah.
sorry. I thought you just meant like open stadiums that get pounded by snow.
No, because you could also throw in Steelers in there too.
Comparatively to the rest, I would say
they're not as much yet.
Not as much, yeah.
You could also potentially say either of the Ohio teams.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, but Patriots too. Fucking they get snow.
Yeah, I guess they do have an open stadium too.
But yeah, I honestly at first I wasn't expecting it to fucking last this long, this episode. But yeah, now we're at a fucking hour and a half, so I'm just like
we did.
Yeah.
But luckily there's not a whole lot for you to edit. We haven't said anybody's name yet.
Yeah. God, I fucking
that breath.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for joining the MattCast podcast. I'm Matty Light, joined by my co-host Matty Heavy. I'm gonna go to sleep and take some Benadryl.
I think I'm going to the grocery store.
Bye.